Good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to a special nerd episode of the Nerds United as One podcast. It is Paul English, and I'm joined by a terrific crew that I'll introduce now real quickly. We got Caleb Tuff. What's up, Caleb?
I'm home. Paul, we're home.
We are indeed.
I'm
Mike
so
is
excited
also-
to be here, guys. I can't wait to talk about the Force Awakens. It was fucking awesome.
Mike is also here. Mike, welcome.
Howdy, let's get some Force Awakening going on.
Yes, indeed. Chris is also here. How are you?
Doing good, guys. Woo! There's been an awakening. I felt it. I'm feeling it.
We all felt it. Avi's also here. What's going on, Avi?
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about Force Awakens as like the only one that hasn't seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I think you could have an outsider opinion.
Oh, goodness.
No, I kind of instead of like trying to find like, oh, where do I find Emperor Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi? I thought, well, people saw the original trilogy before they saw the prequels, so technically the original trilogy would now be prequels to the new ones. So that's how I could look at it. Yeah. No. Technically, it is true. The original trilogy takes place before the new ones.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop it. Just
No.
drop
But
it.
there's so much stuff, Paul, in the original.
No, I still liked it as a movie.
All right, Paul, we gotta go on because he's here. So I want to,
All right, of course, I am Paul English, and as Caleb alluded, we are going to be talking about Star Wars The Force Awakens. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and I want to get started. So, Caleb, what did you think about this movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
boy.
like,
I don't know.
there it is.
There he is. Caleb,
What?
what did you think about this movie?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Guys, I want to apologize. I had to go somewhere with my fiance's dad, but real quick, I do want to give my thoughts. I fucking love this movie, you guys. It was the most, I'm not going to say it was the most amazing, like, theater experience, but I finally felt like, I've been so jealous of my parents who got to see the original trilogy, obviously, in theaters. My mom is a huge Star Wars fan, and I finally feel like I finally got to see a legit Star Wars movie, because the prequels don't count. I saw all those in theaters, and they don't count. This was, I cried, I smiled, I laughed. When Han Solo died, I'm just going to get right into it. When he died, man, I cried. I was so upset. It was like I was losing a piece of myself. Like, it was like, no, like, oh my, and he was killed by his son, like, oh man, like, it's just crazy. Everything about this movie I absolutely loved. I love all the new characters. The only thing, Luke has no lines, he literally has no dialogue whatsoever, but
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? It is what it is, I guess. He's going to have a bigger role in Episode 8. This movie left me with a lot of questions, a lot of unanswered stuff, which I'm kind of happy about, but it's driving me crazy. Thankfully, we only have a year and a half to wait. But overall, this movie was absolutely fantastic. It brought Star Wars back, and Star Wars is back in a big way. And this movie made a lot of fucking money, and that's what I love. A good movie making a shit ton of money. And literally, I can't wait for Episode 8. There's so many things happening in this movie. It's hard to go into one time. Like, so many good scenes, like when Rey and Finn are running away from the First Order, and they're like, oh, let's use that ship. Not that hunk of junk. We can't use that. It's garbage. Yeah, the garbage ship. And it's the Millennium fucking Falcon. Like, oh my God, are you joking me? I had the biggest smile on my face when that happened. Oh my God. But overall, probably, this will probably be like a 9 out of 10, like 9.5 out of 10. And it's not just on nostalgia. Like, it was actually an amazing movie. So, yeah, overall, I absolutely love this movie. And I'm sorry that I couldn't stay longer to talk to you guys, but I do have to go. But you guys have a good night. And, yeah, this movie fucking rocked.
All right,
So,
hopefully you'll join us for our last episode, Caleb, next week.
Yes.
Peace out, Caleb.
See you guys later.
Great.
Very good.
All right. So yeah. Obviously you loved it. So let's get to everyone else. I was just so thrilled to see this movie in theaters. Well, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was so much fun. Was it perfect? No, there were a couple, one or two scenes that were like kind of like, what the hell was that? but overall it was just so much fun. Yeah, I felt like I was getting like a true Star Wars experience because I didn't see any of the original movies in theaters. I did see all the prequels. Now I will disagree with Caleb that that the entire prequel trilogy doesn't count. I think episode 3 counts because that one was pretty good. But the other two, yeah, I agree. I mean, I tell people, you can skip 1 and 2. Just start at 3 and watch 4, 5, and 6, and that's the ones you need to see. But this one, yeah, I felt like I was getting a real Star Wars movie in theater, and it was just so much fun. I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved the hell out of it. And I can't wait for episode 8, which comes out in 2 years, so that's going to be awesome. All right, Chris, I'll come to you next. What did you think of episode 7 overall?
I love this movie. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh, I was hoping J.J. Abrams would deliver, and boy did he deliver big time. It's probably better than his first 2 Star Trek movies combined, But yes, he really brought a sense of rejuvenation. He brought a kinetic, very youthful spirit to this. He brought back Star Wars. He brought back the feel, the spirit, the adventure. He brought it all. He brought us characters that have more personality, more liveliness than any of the other characters in the prequels. I mean, these characters were interesting. Not only that, he brought back the original cast. I'm over the moon. Yes, it feels derivative in some aspects, but overall, he made a well-crafted movie. I mean, it's probably my second favorite Star Wars movie behind The Empire Strikes Back. Probably. I had to see it a few more times, but it's probably my second favorite Star Wars movie.
Nice. All right, Mike, what about you? What did you think of Force Awakens?
I thought it was fantastic. I had the best time watching this movie. Yes, there are some flaws. There are some noticeable flaws, but they by no means take away from the enjoyment that you get from this movie. I saw it in theaters. Driving home, I literally had tears in my eyes. I'm like, dude, Star Wars is back.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I felt when I was in. I didn't see the original trilogy in theaters the first time around. One of my vaguest first memory is seeing The Empire Strikes Back in a drive-in, but that's the best I got. I did see the special editions in theaters, and there's some flaws with the special editions without a doubt, but the feeling of Star Wars is what I had again seeing The Force Awakens, and I gotta tell you, I've seen it twice so far, and I liked it a lot better on the second viewing, because I knew my expectations were at a more reasonable level. I knew where the flaws were, and so I can kind of ignore them a little bit more and focus. Excellent film, and it really helped me enjoy the movie a lot more. So I would suggest any good Star Wars fan see it at least twice.
Nice. All right, Avi, what about you? What'd you think?
Okay, I really enjoyed it. I'm not as big on it. Well, I still give it like a 9 out of 10. But I really enjoyed it. A few nitpicks, I guess, if I'm grasping at straws. I guess Emperor whatever Snoke, his design looks kind of. It's not that great CGI. Am I alone there? Snoke, the
Supreme
the
Leader.
Supreme Leader of the First Order.
It's not that good CGI, but that's really my only nitpick, I guess. I don't know if I'm alone on that or not, but
Yeah, I can see it.
I liked everything else. I'm not gonna complain about the movie. I'm gonna complain about the few people that dislike it and their stupid reasons for disliking it. I heard. Okay. First of all, I'm what's it called? Episode 4, A New Hope, which I call it A New Hope because it's the only way I could distinguish the titles. But Episode 4. People say it's a lot like Episode 4. Episode 4 is the only other one I've seen, and I don't know what people are talking about really. Someone might have to I don't know.
Well,
but
sorry, go ahead.
Well,
I can tell.
No, you could explain because I don't know.
Okay, the way they're describing is, I would not say it's like Episode 4, but it feels similar to it. Like, Jakku feels similar to Tatooine. The assault on the Starkiller base is reminiscent of the attack on the Death Star. You know, the confrontation between, you know, Han and Kylo could feel a little reminiscent of Obi-Wan and Vader's confrontation. The personality of the characters, like Daisy or Rey is Luke or Poe is Han. I mean, they're similar, but they're not like very much. They're not alike, but they're similar. And like from the pacing to the character, some of the character personalities to the locations, like that kind of stuff.
Well, I heard,
and where the General's base is it not similar to Yavin 4?
A little.
It reminds you of Yavin 4.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Well, I think that's where they're going with it. It reminds you a lot of Episode 4.
Well, I'm gonna say something, and you correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know. I heard that all the Star Wars trilogies are kind of the similar story structure. While some aren't good, I heard they're a similar story structure. I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen them, but it is kind of. It's kind of the same problem people had with Age of Ultron, and I really wanted to bring this up. That people complained that Age of Ultron, it was too much like the first Avengers movie. As one of the complaints, even though it's an Avengers movie, it's like people are complaining that Force Awakens, it's too much like a Star Wars movie. Well, they're making a Star Wars movie.
Okay.
It doesn't make.
Hold on.
It doesn't make sense to me that a movie and a franchise is too much like the franchise that they're going. That
Okay. Avi, hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me correct you on this. Okay. You're right. I don't get the complaints about why people are complaining. Oh, Force Awakens is too much. Like, oh, you're fucking idiots. So shut the fuck up. We don't give a shit. But I can understand why people are saying Age of Ultron is too much like the Avengers, because I was one of those people. In a lot of respects, Age of Ultron is better than the Avengers. It gave us what we wanted. It gave us the Avengers together, hanging out, or, you know, and more. It gave us exactly what we wanted and more. It gave us the Avengers. They were together, and they gave us even more of it. We delved a little more into the characters. I mean, that scene at the party where they're just, like, hanging out.
it's
I could have watched the entire movie just of that and would have been entertained. The problem was Age of Ultron didn't really give us anything, like, brand spanking new that we didn't want. The difference between Age of Ultron and Force Awakens is Force Awakens taking place a long time after the original trilogy, but Age of Ultron was like a direct sequel to the. No, I'm confusing myself. I'm just gonna shut up because I'm confused. I'm gonna try to shut up for a minute. I'm confusing myself.
Is it a direct sequel, Age of Ultron?
Yes, it is. It's a direct sequel to the Avengers.
No, what were you? Oh, okay.
That direct.
Well, technically, it's
not. It doesn't take place. It doesn't take place right after the events.
Right.
I don't really understand.
A couple of years later, but Force Awakens takes place about 30.
Technically, it's a direct sequel to Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Right.
True.
Yeah, because Guardians had really nothing to do, and Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Well, Ant-Man was afterwards, but those are the two movies that have nothing to do with the Avengers. So.
Well,
it really fits. No, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, Ant-Man has like nothing except that they go to the. But that's off topic.
The new Avengers, baby. Yeah, we're getting a little off topic with the Avengers.
I don't know.
We love the Avengers, but let's get back to Star Wars.
No, I was gonna. Well, I mean, I was gonna bring up one more thing about the Avengers, but it's quick. I was gonna say that this movie might suffer from the same problems as Age of Ultron, just because the people that dislike it might have had it overhyped like Age of Ultron, and then they just expected it to be the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That's probably what happened.
That's what happened. No movie is. If Civil War isn't amazing, people are going to hate it because they're just expecting it to be perfect.
Well, that's why I suggest everyone should watch it twice, so that the first time you get
I watched Age of Ultron twice. I like it better the second time.
No, I'm talking about The Force Awakens. Well, actually, Age of Ultron as well. The first time.
I don't watch movies twice in theaters. I watch it once in theaters, and then if I like it enough, I'll watch it again online or on like TV when it's free or whatever.
Yeah. Well, but the first time you get your expectations back down to normal. Second time you know where you're at, so you can just see it, and enjoy it for the film that it is, rather than the
My
film
expectations
you
are
want it to
always
be.
at just 50%.
Mhm.
Well, in that case, everything would be better. But yeah, so that that is really just my thoughts on Star. I enjoyed it, not as much as everyone else. I still give it like a 9 out of 10. I just didn't understand people's complaints with it being too much like a Star Wars movie when it is a Star Wars.
People are always going to find something to complain about, Avi, and most of those people are just flat out idiots.
It's just like what Mark Hamill said. No matter what you do, there's always a small group are going to be like not satisfied.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't satisfy everyone.
I'll listen to some people's complaints if they make sense. Like, I might not agree with them, but I'll be like, oh, I could at least see where you're coming from. But if you're just going to say a Star Wars movie is too much like a Star Wars movie, then you make no sense.
No, that makes no sense.
Okay.
All right, so before we get talking about what we're really talking about, real quick, let's get this part out of the way. Was there anything about this movie that we didn't like? Was there something about this movie that perhaps we didn't like or thought that was a little weird? Like, for one example, I will admit the storyline was a little simple at times. And yes, the characters are just getting introduced, but the personalities are a little simple. Okay, fair enough. We'll get to those are minor things. If there's any one real problem I have with it, and it's not really that big of a problem, but it's the scene where Rey's fighting Kylo at the end. And she starts tapping into the Force. And she has her eyes closed. She's like holding off Kylo Ren. She closes her eyes. And I'm wondering to myself, why the hell are you closing your eyes in the middle of a fight? You are taking your eyes off the enemy. You never do that. And my other problem is, why didn't Kylo Ren take advantage of that and just swoop it around and slice her in half?
Well, I mean, it's a movie, so it's not exactly realistic.
It's not a major complaint, but like, okay, that really didn't make any sense. But that was really about it. That's the only thing I was like, okay, that made no sense.
He didn't attack her right then. He didn't attack her right then because he just offered to train her. He was trying to get her onto the dark side. She closed her eyes because personally, I think the reason that she was able to beat him was that, if you go back to A New Hope, the Force partially controls your actions but also obeys your thoughts. There's no way, I mean, Kylo Ren has more skill with the lightsaber, but she was allowing the Force to move through her and control her actions, so that's how she was able to win. And she's stronger with the Force than he is. They filmed that.
Okay. Mike, did you have any minor or major problems with this movie?
It's not really a major problem, but it really bugged me the first time I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Phasma was not in this movie.
Exactly.
She had, I mean, they call it the Boba Fett this movie not because she's cool and she's got armor, but because she's in it for about the same amount of time.
No, you're right about that.
I mean,
and they really built her up.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy says that they've got big plans for her going forward, and I hope so because they had no plans for her in this one. She was in like 3 scenes, and she, she had 3 blasters trained on her, but she just, rolled over and lowered the shields for them without even blinking.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, they better do something with her because they really built her up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she didn't even take her mask off. Like, what the hell?
She's in massive. She's all over the posters. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, Chris, anything about this movie that you kind of questioned or anything?
I would go with Mike. This is like Captain Phasma. I mean, they built her up, quite. This is like to almost crazed levels, I guess. But it's like, yeah, she was definitely cool looking. I mean, I really didn't expect much out of her, but I still wanted to see more of her. Perhaps if she had a little more of an involved role, maybe trying to, in fact, lead a battalion of stormtroopers to pursue Rey and Finn. I mean, maybe it would have been a lot better. I mean, maybe it just has something a little bit more for her to do. Perhaps that would have, perhaps her role in this film would have been much more criticized, And another problem I had is the kind of I guess I don't know if it's the derivative nature of the plot. You know, it is somewhat. I mean, yeah. I don't know if it's. I mean, well, I guess I didn't really mind the Death Star type weapon. You know, I mean, what do you? I suppose I suppose I can live with that. You know, I mean, but that's really all. And I would like to see more General Hux though. I mean, he's pretty good as a bad guy, but you know, I wanted to see a little bit more. I mean, that's really my nitpicks I had to have with the movie.
Oh, I mean, if they're only nitpicks, I mean that means they did something right. All right, Avi, did you have anything like you kind of question about this movie?
I don't. Most of it. The only problem I had, and for the most part, the CGI is really good. I guess the only thing I have to nitpick about is like the few characters that were CGI, like Snoke or Maz Kanata, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. They could have been. I don't know if like practical effects. I'm sure you could do it. Like CGI might be easier, or like puppets or something. Yoda in the originals isn't CGI.
No, he's a puppet.
Exactly. You probably could have made like Maz Kanata a puppet, or I don't know about Snoke. It might have had to be like a full-size costume and stuff. But or at least have made the CG a little better. But I don't know. That's nitpicks. Other than that, that's not really. I don't really have any problems. But I guess my only problem. It's nothing. Never mind.
Okay then. All right, so we got some negativity out of the way. Well, let's focus on all the good this movie did. First of all, let's talk about our three new heroes. We have Rey, Finn, and Poe. I like these characters very much. I hope to see a little more of Poe in the next film because he really wasn't in there that much, so I want to see some more of him next time. But Rey and Finn, I really enjoyed these characters. You know, they were interesting characters. Obviously, we didn't get a whole lot into their backstory, but they're interesting characters. I really liked them, and I want to see more of them. So, Chris, I'll come to you first. What do you think of these new characters? The guys who are going to be leading our new trilogy.
I love these new characters. They are some pretty cool creations in itself. I enjoyed these. I'm quite much enjoying these new characters. Rey, can I say Daisy Ridley is gorgeous.
Indeed.
Yes, she's pretty much a feisty, strong character, and she's a little less coward than Luke. And yeah, she pretty much can hold her own, especially with that staff. She's pretty bad with it. Finn, I like his development. Going from a stormtrooper, and realize he has that epiphany. It's like maybe this isn't the right thing to do. I think he's a really cool and reliable character, but Poe is really somebody. I love this guy. It's like a very witty and very charming daredevil pilot. Yes, very much not unlike Han Solo in a sense, but I think cocky. Humorous to wryly humorous to a fault. I'm liking this new trio. I hope we get to see them on screen together because
like all three of them together.
Yes.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes, but yeah, overall, these are characters that I really enjoy. I still want to see them. I can't wait to see them again in the other movies.
Indeed. All right. Speaking of new heroes, let's talk about the new villain, Kylo Ren. They really built this guy to be badass, and for the most part, I think he was. You know what I was thinking, like watching this guy. At first, I was confused, like, okay, why is he throwing a temper tantrum? When he got some bad news, live his life and just kind of smashed the computer, like a computer terminal. It's like that didn't make any sense. But I thought, that would kind of fit him when he was like young and kind of insecure about himself. That actually would make a little sense. And I realized something watching this guy, and like, this is how Anakin Skywalker should have been. I'm thinking, like, if Anakin had been like this in 2 and 3, he would have been such a better character. I'm like, this is how Anakin Skywalker should have been. Yeah, I thought he was a. I enjoy him as a villain, and I hope he becomes even more badass as the films go along. So, Mike, I'll come to you next. What did you think of Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren. I wasn't sure how to react to him when I first saw him. I mean, yeah, he looked like a badass, and I mean, dude, he stopped a blaster bolt in midair. That is pretty damn cool. Awesome. But I wasn't sure how to react to it. But as the movie went along, he became a much, much deeper, much more layered villain than I thought he would be. I mean, when he's talking to the Darth Vader mask, he's like, I can feel the pull of the light. I'm like, dude, this is the guy, like, he's trying so hard to be so dark and so bad, but there's a part of him that he acknowledges doesn't want to be that guy. I'm like, wow, that is amazing. And yeah, he was such a surprise and such a pleasant surprise. Right,
Chris, what about you? What did you think of Kylo Ren?
Yeah, I'm like Mike. I didn't really expect to know about this. I mean, I didn't know how to react to this character, but yeah, whew, man, is he a badass. I mean, he's probably. I mean, he's truly unlike any Star Wars villain we've seen. I mean, he is. I mean, yeah, he's a bad guy. I mean, he's really conflicted and tortured of a character. He's. He should have been like Anakin Skywalker in the prequels. He should have been like, there should have been more of his inner conflict, in terms of struggling of where to go, the dark side or the light side. And Adam Driver gives an amazing performance. I mean, this is an Emmy-nominated actor, and man, does he play the hell out of it. He just brings to life this really, really multi-layered and multifaceted character. He's sane at times. He's mad at times. It's just like, I mean, how he was able to bring this character to life was unbelievable. It's just like, he isn't Vader 2.0. He's actually his own character with his own unique facets about him. And I think he's a well-crafted, well done character.
Indeed. Avi, what about you? What did you think of Kylo Ren?
Well, first I was going to say, when you mentioned the three heroes, I thought you were going to say Rey, Finn, and BB-8. But about, Kylo Ren, Chris brought up what I was going to say, like, they could have so easily made him just Vader 2.0. But no, they made him actually, like, unique and, like, menacing, and, yeah. I don't have that much to say, but, yeah, I liked him.
Indeed. Let's see, what else? Okay, you know what? Because it's been word going on that there have been a whole lot of celebrity cameos that occurred in this movie. So I do want to take a minute to talk about a few of them. I think one of the big notable ones was Daniel Craig had a cameo in this movie. He was the stormtrooper that Rey used the Force on to, like, get him to leave the room, unlock the thing. Like, that was Daniel Craig in that stormtrooper uniform, which I thought was cool.
Now I'm looking. I knew he was in it, but now I need to see if I can find it.
Yeah. You will drop your rifle. I will drop my rifle.
Oh, that's who he was.
Yeah. They even got Ewan McGregor and Frank Oz to come in and record dialogue.
Yeah, I knew about that.
And Sir Alec Guinness.
Yes, they tweaked a word he said, and Alec Guinness said in a movie. I mean, it sounded like he was saying Ray.
Yeah, he said, like, afraid sometime, and they took the middle part, Ray, and boom.
There you go. Like, so that was pretty cool.
And Simon Pegg as Unkar Platt, the junk dealer.
Okay. I also noticed Ken Watanabe in there as a general.
Was that Ken Watanabe?
No, that was Ken Lund. You're mistaking him with Ken Lund.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on Lost.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, he was one of the Resistance Admirals.
All right. Are there any others that I might have missed? I probably did.
Simon Pegg and
That had a cameo, I think, in me, but
Who?
Kevin Smith.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think but he probably didn't see him, I guess. And
Okay. All right. So obviously this is about the three new characters, but obviously we all know why we were so pumped for this movie. It's the return of the three original characters: Han, Leia, and to a lesser extent Luke. They were back for this nostalgia trip through the roof. I could not have been more excited to see these guys. I was just thrilled to see them. So, Chris, what was your reaction when you see each one of these characters show up again?
oh my goodness, every one of these reactions. Oh my goodness. When I saw the Falcon, I cheered. I cried nerd tears. It's like, oh. I was so thrilled to see this ship, for the ship of my childhood. It's like, wow. Oh my goodness. Of course, when Han and Chewie come back this week, I welled up. I was like, when he says Chewie, we're home. It's like, that breathed a sigh of relief. It was so good to see Han Solo and Chewbacca again, and Harrison Ford. He was good as usual. I mean, he played that. He's pretty much the same Han Solo you see, in the other movies, but a little older. But yes, a little wiser to a certain extent. Of course, yes, he's going back to smuggling, but yeah, he's willing to patch up some of the rough portions of his life, and of course, repairing his relationship with Leia. And it was great seeing Leia again. Carrie Fisher. Yes, it looks like she hadn't acted in a long time. I mean, she was decent at best, but yeah, it was great seeing her again. Of course, C-3PO and R2-D2, of course, Luke. My God, that moment when you see Mark Hamill, and he's listening, as himself, push back the hood up. Oh my God! In here, I was just like, so many. I reacted on so many emotional levels. I mean, it was no word, not a word of dialogue. I mean, it could have been something I was disappointed with, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
That moment. I mean, it was really great seeing these characters on screen again.
Indeed. Mike, what about you? What was your reaction seeing the original trio back?
Oh, very, very similar to Chris. I mean, when Han and Chewie burst onto the Millennium Falcon, I'm like, oh, they're back. This is Han. This is Harrison Ford actually giving his all. Like, yeah, Indiana Jones 4, he kind of did that half-assed. This was him going full ass. He did a great job with this. I mean, Carrie Fisher. Yeah, I mean, she's never been the greatest actress, but seeing her and Han and their scenes together, there's enough history there that they still had that connection. They still had that repartee that you remember from the original trilogy, and it was beautiful to see. And yeah, same as with Chris. When you see Luke, you see the cloaked figure, and then he turns around, you just see the beard, and then he pulls that hood back. Hell yeah! I actually thought of one more cameo appearance as well. Carrie Fisher's daughter.
All right.
She was at the Resistance base. She was the it looks like almost a teenage girl, but with like the weird hair, kind of almost the buns type thing.
It's supposed to be homage to Princess Leia's hairstyle.
Yeah.
All right. Avi, what was your reaction seeing these guys back?
Well, first I'll say what my theater reaction was. I don't. It might be because I saw it Saturday night and it was already out for a few days. Well, Thursday night technically. So they reacted for Harrison Ford on Han Solo. I think there were slight reactions for Carrie Fisher. The funniest part, I knew who it was at the end. I knew it was Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. It's probably because he doesn't look like he did look 40 years ago or whatever. But no one recognized him. I heard a bunch of whispers behind, who is that? I don't know. And I was just like,
Skywalker.
Yeah, they're looking for him the whole movie.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't like. I mean, I feel so bad because Mark Hamill is all awesome, but it's like, yeah, like you could at least recognize, oh, that's Harrison Ford, and you could, I guess, recognize that's Carrie Fisher. But it's like if you haven't seen a Star Wars like Mark Hamill since you saw the last Star Wars movie he was in, then you might think, oh, he doesn't look like similar.
Well, I mean, I do know that he underwent like a huge
Yeah, he went through,
50-pound diet,
yeah.
losing 50 pounds in a short time in order to reprise his role.
He was also in earlier this year, Kingsman.
Oh yeah.
Carrie Fisher had to lose a lot of weight too.
I loved him in Kingsman. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I had the same reactions. At least I knew who Mark Hamill was. That it was Luke. I mean, they were looking for it. Unless you missed the opening scroll, which like my brother happened to watch, he had to like go for like a minute, and he just happened to miss it. But it's like you really don't need to read the opening scroll since you see what's going on throughout the movie. It just like sets you up for the movie.
Yeah, they really. I'll get into more of that later, but they really
find a map to Luke Skywalker. She follows a map to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that should be Luke Skywalker.
No, I think that's just a random guy they happen to meet along the way. Oh wait, the movie's ending. Oh wow, who was that? What happened to Luke Skywalker?
That's homeless Joe. Just give him a quarter, he'll walk away.
And then it just ends and they're like, wait, weren't we looking for Luke Skywalker? What happened to that?
All right. So let's get to like some of the big ones. First of all, the big reveal that Kylo is actually Han and Leia's son.
Are you kidding me? I didn't see the movie yet.
They didn't really keep that a secret for long, did they? They didn't really try to hide it very much. I mean, they let you know like a third of the way into the movie.
Yeah, you could tell that he's gonna.
Yeah, that was Yeah, they let you know right away. This is Han and Leia's son.
I wouldn't say they let you know right away. I mean,
like a third of the way into the movie, like they spill the beans.
Yeah.
They don't try to hide it.
When Han, like, also you could kind of tell that. I don't know if you could kind of tell that Han Solo is gonna die. It could just be I
was getting to that later.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Kylo Ren being Han and Leia's kid.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say.
Secret for long.
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of had that part spoiled for me also, but whatever. I still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I was like, okay, they didn't really keep that a secret for long, did they? And that was actually one of the theories that I heard going into this movie. So sorry for everyone who was hoping Kylo was Luke Skywalker. Oh, boo-hoo, you all suck. No, that was never going to happen. Kylo Ren is, in reality, his name is Ben Solo. He is Han and Leia's son. They let that out about a third of the way through. They did not try to keep it from them. I didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, on the one hand, having secrets in a movie is kind of nice, keeps you entertained, but, on the other hand, like, let's... JJ didn't say that. Yeah, we're not going to keep the secret. Let's just get it out of the bag. So, Chris, what was your reaction to that?
I mean, I kind of was surprised that, like I said, I really didn't mind it, I mean, it is kind of a very good plot twist, like I said, I really didn't have a problem with it at all. Some people would find it a little bit obvious, I guess, because you would expect these guys turning into several different directions to a few directions that would be considered. I could figure that out, but I really didn't have a problem with it. I mean, Kylo Ren is a great character in himself. I mean, like I said, I felt that was a pretty adequate development in the story. That we find out, the offspring of Han Solo and Leia Organa is in fact a dark side user. That'd be interesting.
Mike, why don't I come to you next? What did you think of that reveal? Did it surprise you in any way, or were you surprised they let it out so early?
Well, I kind of had a feeling that he might be I mean, that was obviously the big theory going around beforehand. So I wasn't really surprised by the reveal. I was a little bit surprised by how quickly Snoke just comes out and saying, they're on the Millennium Falcon with your father, Han Solo. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then as you follow the movie along, you realize they kind of had to reveal it right then.
Yeah.
Because the fact that he is their child is what really propels most of the story going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So there was really no way around it other than just revealing it right then and there.
Right.
Okay. Avi, what about you?
I actually missed that line that Mike just said. But I don't know. I have really no opinion on it. I don't really care about if something gets spoiled, so I didn't really like them spoiling it earlier in the movie. Technically, I have no big opinion. It doesn't really make a difference for me where they said it. Like, I'm sure it would have been better if they kept it a secret, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jack has just joined us. Jack, what's going on?
Hi, sorry I was late, but work and stuff.
Not a problem. So we were just talking about the revelation that Kylo Ren is actually Ben Solo, Han and Leia's son. And we were talking about were we surprised that they revealed it so soon. So, Jack, I'll come to you with that. Were you surprised they kind of revealed it so quickly?
No, it made sense. I mean, because we still don't know who Rey is, all the way. So it makes sense that they said one of these people in the movie is somebody's kid, and we definitely know that for sure. And it gave the later scene made it a lot more tense.
Indeed. I think I know what scene that is, and let's get to it, because I don't think we can keep this. I don't think we can afford to talk about this for much longer. Probably, no, hands down, the saddest scene in this entire movie: the death of Han Solo.
No, you spoiled it. I was waiting to watch the movie. I already made that joke.
Yeah, it doesn't work a second time, Avi, unless it's a language joke. That we can grind on all day. So,
Damn it.
Yeah, when that happened, obviously I was sad, like, oh man, how can you do this? But at the same time, I kind of saw it coming the way that scene was evolving. Like, I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. Plus, I don't think Harrison Ford would have come back to reprise his role unless JJ promised to kill him all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to be in future films. That's what I kept hearing.
So yeah, I don't think we've even gotten anything of Han Solo unless JJ promised to kill him off. So yeah, I was upset by it, but I kind of knew it was coming. So all I can do was like, oh god, bye Han, I love you. I'm gonna be so sad when you're gone. Like, and I was sad. I mean, I love Han Solo. Who doesn't? There are millions of fans suddenly cried out in terror, and then were suddenly silenced. Such a sad moment. And yes, it was genuinely sad, and I am going to miss Han a lot because he's so awesome. So, Chris, what was your reaction when that big scene happened?
Oh my goodness. I welled up. I genuinely welled up. This character really brought a sense of gravitas and the levity to Star Wars. I mean, he truly is one of the heroes. He had this dashing, heroic figure, and in this really emotionally charged scene, trying to bring his son back to the light, and you really sense the visual poetry of the scene. It's just like when the star killer, the weapon's trying to suck all the energy out of the sun. When you see in that moment of darkness, you see, when this Han believes he has kind of turned his sound around 180, you realize he's been pulled, he's been tricked, and it murders his own son in cold blood. Yeah, I kind of knew it was coming, but at the same time, it was incredibly a really tragic moment in the whole movie. It's just, I couldn't keep myself together for a bit. It's awful moment. It's a tragic moment in the whole movie.
Indeed. Mike, what was your reaction?
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming from the moment that like when Kylo said, I've got something I need to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I'm like, oh, dang, you bastard! I know where it's going now. I knew all along that the chance that the Han was going to be killed off was there, because Harrison Ford's been going on for 30 years now how he wanted Han and Solo to be killed off.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that the possibility was there, and I was just hoping that it wouldn't be so because I love Han Solo so much.
Yeah.
But when he walked out in that crosswalk or whatever the hell thing that thing is, and they started talking, I'm like, oh crap. Well, I did. Yeah, I felt an emotional hit right there when I saw the blade coming out of his back. I'm like, you know what? I hate that this is happening, but I mean, he's going out. His death has some meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
His death is going to have a bigger impact in further movies. I mean, just going back to the prequels here. Mace Windu. I mean, whatever Samuel L. Jackson says, Mace Windu went out like a bitch.
Yeah.
And like there was really no meaning to that death other than to be the final nail in Anakin Skywalker's coffin and rise Darth Vader.
Yeah.
This death had 100 times the emotional impact. It had gravitas. The scene itself was just so beautifully done. The confrontation between those, the back and forth,
mm-hmm.
It was excellently done. And I'm like, if he had to go out, this is probably one of the best ways he could go out.
Mm-hmm. And going back to what he said, like, there's something I feel I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it when Kylo said that. And I was reading an article about how JJ brought up how Kylo's trying to prove that he can live up to the legacy of Darth Vader. And you realize, you look at how many times opportunities Vader had to kill Luke during their confrontation, but he just, for whatever reason, he could not bring himself to kill his own son. And in the end, he winds up saving Luke from the Emperor. Well, Kylo did something that Vader could do. He killed a relative of his. I mean, that was kind of his, what's the word I'm looking for? Full baptism to the dark side. Like, now this guy's a full-blown villain.
Actually, that brings up a little question, thought that I had today. How the hell does he know that Darth Vader was his grandfather? Because I don't think that's something that Leia and Luke would probably be broadcasting. Your grandfather was the biggest badass who almost conquered the entire galaxy.
They may not have told him that, but I think at some point he did learn that Anakin Skywalker was his grandfather. Yeah. I think Luke or Leia may have told him some story about it, and then over time he may have found out that he was
Snoke probably.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was Snoke that revealed that to him.
Yeah, probably. But maybe we'll find out a little later in another movie. Let's hope. Avi, did you have any sort of reaction when that scene happened?
You're gonna ask what? I might switch to my iPad in a second. This is about to run out of power. But you're gonna ask a person who's only seen Episode 4 what his reaction. Yes, Han Solo is an iconic character. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I had it spoiled. I don't know. Yeah, it's an iconic character. Maybe if it was from like a movie, a trilogy that I've seen all the movies from, I might have cared more. Like if it's a character from like Back to the Future or something. But that wouldn't. I don't know.
All right.
I have no. Yeah, I guess it's sad, but from a not Star Wars fan, I have.
Jack, I know you. Did you get around to seeing any of the original trilogy before this movie came out?
No. And I still haven't.
I'm asking you this.
Has he seen any before? Like before?
Just 2.
Which 2? Oh, just 2.
No, just Episode 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but I didn't see this coming. Maybe I would have if I have seen the other movies, but when he's saying I need your help, I thought he was gonna cause he had already taken off his mask. I thought he was gonna kick his mask off a little, like.
Because all villains are good guys.
No, I thought he was gonna kick his mask off, like whatever the thing they were standing on, and he's like, "Nope, I'm just gonna kill you, Dad." And then it's like, and now to make sure you're triple dead, you're gonna fall over into this bottomless pit.
And then the planet blows up.
Yeah, so he's dead.
Sadly, you're right. You're right. He is. Memory of Han Solo. Let's have some kind of memorial on our page or something.
And he's not a Jedi, so he can't come back as a Force ghost.
No. No, we cannot. All right. So, okay. For the last thing that at least I want to bring up, oh my God, the way this movie ended, they make you so hungry for the next one, didn't it? They finished the full map. Rey goes to see Luke. She just holds up the lightsaber. They just kind of stare at each other, and then that's it. Movie over. It's like, you are gonna leave us on that, you fuckers.
I know. I was so pissed.
Like,
I was waiting for Luke to just like pull his hand out and use the Force and pull the lightsaber to him or something.
Oh God. Yeah, I need Episode 8 more than ever. Like, someone get me the DeLorean so I can time travel to 2017. I need this movie now. I mean, I know we got Rogue One to keep us occupied next year, but come on. I need to see the next chapter soon. Thank God we only have to wait 2 years instead of 3.
A year and a half, actually.
I have a question. Could someone explain to me what?
Well, I think you lost power.
Yep, you just lost power.
And we only have to wait a year and a half, not 2 years.
Yeah.
It's
is Episode 8 coming out summer 2017?
May of 2017.
Okay, year and a half is even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
I do have a question for you guys. What was your favorite...
Sorry about...
Oh, welcome back, Avi.
Sorry.
What was your favorite moment, your favorite scene?
That's
In the movie?
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one. They were all pretty good.
They were all really good, but I absolutely know my favorite one. When, Kylo Ren, he's trying to summon that lightsaber out of the snow, and then it flies to him, and it flies right past him into Rey's hand, and you get that John Williams score. That is my favorite moment.
That I believe I had goosebumps when that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool scene. I'm like, oh.
When she
I
gets that
have a
lightsaber in
question
here.
for you guys. Who are your two favorite characters in the movie?
Oh jeez.
My two are Rey and Poe, without question. I just like characters.
I love
Rey.
Han's usual
Rey and-
badass self, and I'd probably have to go with Rey.
Rey
Mine is
what
Kylo
are you
Ren
gonna
and
say, Jack?
Chewie. And Chewbacca. I love Chewie in this movie. He's so cute, like a loyal dog. Like, I love the part when they bring him back and the medic is talking to him.
Oh yeah.
That must have been really scary. You must be really brave. And then when Din is trying to patch him up and he won't, and he's like, "Arr." And then Kylo Ren was just the badass villain.
Oh, you know who the two best characters are? It's Rey and BB-8. I'm gonna keep saying BB-8's the best character.
I felt they wasted though? Captain Phasma.
Oh, absolutely.
We mentioned that.
Yeah, they should have done more with her.
My two
Yeah,
favorite.
but
And then we didn't even get to see them throw her down the garbage chute. I wanted to see that.
Did they?
That's what they said they were gonna do, but they never showed
Yeah, but did they do it? That's the thing. I don't think they ever did. All right, guys. So I think Chris, I was coming to you next. How did you react to that final scene?
Oh, I was just, like I said, it's just like in here, it was just like I was so overjoyed. Yet something again in me is just like, it's just like it was quite an emotional roller coaster. This is like, and Mark Hamill gives us a beautiful performance in those 30 seconds where he's on the screen. You can really see the I don't know how to interpret it. Maybe it's the pain in his eyes, and the feeling of weariness, you see, because after 30 years, he tried to build a whole new Jedi Academy, And I believe with Rey, he sees a little of himself, when she hands out the lightsabers and stuff. He's like, yeah, I used to be young and hopeful, and he used to be full of optimism. But I also see that reluctance, I guess, looking at him. But it was a great scene, great scene. And it leaves you hanging, an actual cliffhanger. And you're waiting to see what happens next. It's like, what?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that's just... Hey, very good, yet frustrating at the same time. Mike, what about you? How would you react watching that last scene?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful scene. I mean, Rey, digging out and pulling out that lightsaber, and that Luke recognizes that saber. He knows exactly what it is, and just in that in the face that Mark Hamill gave it, you can see the memories are coming back, and the pain of all the memories that what they're bringing to him. Beautiful scene. I kind of agree with Jack that I was half hoping for the lightsaber to fly out of Rey's hands into his, but it wasn't a necessity for me. I think what we got, worked out just as well.
Avi, what about you?
Wait, hang on. It was a nice scene. Once again, I can't comment. I was really just gonna comment as a movie how it was. It's a nice scene. I just wish I've seen all of them so I could comment more of what it really means. But what I was gonna ask before I got kicked out is what is Rogue One anyway?
Rogue One is it's an anthology film coming on history. I think it's supposed to be following the rebel group that stole the plans to the Death Star that we hear that was such a focal point in Episode 4.
Right, Avi, you saw Episode 4, right?
I've seen Episode 4. If you explain, I'll try to remember what it's about. Well, I know I have seen Episode 4.
In the opening scroll, it says how they've won, the rebellion has won their first victory against the Galactic Empire. They've stolen during the battle. They stole the plans to the Death Star. Rogue One is telling the story about the group that steals the plans to the Death Star and eventually delivers them to Princess Leia.
Right.
But since it's taking place in that time, we are going to get Darth Vader, and apparently we're getting Governor Tarkin as well.
Mm-hmm. That'll be nice.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how, because he's been dead for a while. Not the character. Well, the character, yes, but the actor as well.
Yeah, Peter Cushing.
Yeah, but I guess they're using some kind of technology to... I'm hoping it's just going to be a hologram.
It could just be voiceover from other...
Yeah, it could be.
They could just have stuff they never used.
Well, I mean, the way, this isn't even remotely the same, but, the way they did, in that recent Peanuts movie is for Snoopy, since the voice actor died, 10 years before the Peanuts movie came out, they just used, voiceover from his previous, the previous Charlie Brown specials, so they could just use voiceover from other, movies he was in and,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or just get a different actor, I don't know.
They're more likely to do that. Jack, what was your reaction to that final scene of the movie?
No, I was kind of pissed off. We don't see Luke the whole movie. The whole thing's about him, and then Luke shows up, and nothing happens. He doesn't even say anything, and just Donna, Star Wars by J.J. Abrams.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Lovable Star Wars. Yeah, I can. That was a little frustrating, but again, it didn't really do anything to take away from the overall enjoyment of this movie. It really didn't do that. All right, guys. I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Actually, I have one last question.
Okay.
A friend of mine at work posed this question to me. And I think I got it kind of sussed out, but I'm just kind of wondering what you guys thought. Who is the new Han Solo of this new cast? Is it Poe or is it Finn?
I think it'll be Poe.
Poe.
I have to, agree.
Yeah, I would say Poe.
And you are all wrong. It is actually Finn.
What?
Poe is the Princess Leia of this group.
That's funny.
That's
I'm
bullshit.
trying
Well,
to figure
those
it
two
out.
kind
I'm
of
like,
I
figure
don't
that.
think so because Poe is more of the cocky guy like Han Solo is.
Yeah.
Poe is a leader. He's not cocky. He's assured in his abilities, but he's a leader in the Resistance. He gives the plans to the droid right at the beginning. He gets captured, and he has to be rescued. Finn he escapes. He's kind of out for himself. He just wants to get away from the First Order. And throughout the movie, he kind of has that change of heart where he realizes this is part of something bigger. I gotta try and help these guys out.
But what, like, I would say Finn is more, like, cowardly and Han Solo isn't.
Well, he was out for himself. He didn't want to
In
be
the first
involved.
half of the movie, though, he like, doesn't, well, I mean, he doesn't want to be a stormtrooper, and I don't know, he seemed kind of cowardly, like, the first half. I mean, I like him, but, I don't know.
It's just that's just my personal opinion. Honestly, you guys are not alone. Most of the other people I work with also say that, but I think it's more Finn. I really do, because he's the
Ray Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, in more ways than one, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So did we go over who we think Rey is?
Yeah, but kind of the
no, I
beginning.
don't
Did
think
we
we're
do
gonna-
it in the hangout?
We
or
can't
before
think
the
Luke
hangout?
Skywalker's daughter. I'm not sure about that.
I think.
I mean, yeah, I think you know what? Let's briefly talk about what do we hope to see in Episode 8. I mean, I'm hoping we see a lot of some good training stuff going on between Luke and Rey, where Luke's instructing her in the ways of the Force and all that. We get a little more insight into Kylo Ren's descent to the dark side, and maybe an answer as to who Supreme Leader Snoke is. Like, is this guy a reincarnation of an? I've been hearing rumors this guy actually could be Darth Plagueis. That maybe.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people
him,
think.
or he found a way to survive.
I think that'd be cool.
But I'd also like to see. I just want to see Snoke, because we didn't really see him in this movie. We saw him like in a hologram.
Yeah.
I want to like actually see him.
See him in actual size, because apparently the hologram is a lot bigger than he actually is. Because I mean, according to one of the character designers and for the movie, I think he's only supposed to be like 7 feet tall.
That's still pretty tall.
Yeah, it's still tall, but
I
it's
want
not.
to find out who Rey is, like if she's Luke's daughter, which I think she is.
I
And I
think she
want
think
them
she is.
to do more of do something more with Captain Phasma.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it if she's like Luke's daughter, but he doesn't know that he has a daughter. Like maybe his like wife or whatever.
No, I think he knows.
I mean, just hear me
No,
out.
But you know what, Elsie? She could be Han and Leia's younger daughter.
I've heard that rumor.
And somehow Luke erased her memories after the events of the massacre of the Jedi Academy students by Kylo.
Yeah, but
Luke just
Han and
erased her
Leia would know though.
I'm kind of wondering, although it would never happen because it's not like a twist in a bad way, like where they just go like how they'd be like when they said, Luke, I am your father. Well, when he said, no, I am your father in Empire Strikes Back, if they'll do that with like Rey and Luke, but it's not really like a bad twist that she'd be like, no.
No, I'm your father.
Like they could do it, but I don't know. Like remember when this happened? But no.
Well, I heard an interesting theory about why people think it's Luke. I've also heard why it's not. But one of the things they're saying is why it's Luke is they think that it could be Luke because after that she was being trained, because she knows how to do some stuff, that after all that stuff happened when Kylo Ren turned bad and murdered the other Jedi, that Luke hid her away so she'd be safe, and then he went on, and then he hid himself.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that whoever hid her away did kind of erase her memory, but when Kylo was kind of using the Force to probe her, that's when she first starts using the Force, and it's like she actually starts reading his mind, and that's when she starts using the Force to do the Jedi mind trick and all that. So it kind of starts unlocking the memories of her.
Mm-hmm.
But also because she's so powerful, it has to be Luke because she has to be related to a Jedi.
Well, she could have. Well, hold on a minute. That could also mean that she's also Leia's daughter because Leia is also strong with the Force. She doesn't use it, but she's still strong with it. I mean, she is Anakin's kid.
Yeah, but she would know that.
Unless Luke erased her memory too.
I actually teared up in this movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I teared up when Rey came back after the mission and she went to Leia, and they were hugging, and it's like, you don't say anything, but you both know Han's dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Leia knew it.
No, but I meant like they both knew it, but they didn't say it. They just hugged each other, and it was very emotional.
It was a mutual comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up. This was a whole lot of fun talking about this unbelievable movie. Obviously, we all cannot wait for episode 8 in a year and a half. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Caleb could not be here for very long, but it was nice to have him for a short time. Avi, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Jack, I know you were late, but it was nice to give an effort to be here.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry I was late, but I was glad to discuss part of the movie.
Chris, my man, it was so much fun having you here.
It was great being here. Talking about the awakening of the greatest movie franchise of all time. Star Wars is back, ladies and gentlemen, folks. Yeah, the Force is finally awakened.
It is indeed. Mike, it was a pleasure having you here as well.
Oh, always great to be here talking about one of my favorite movies of the year, and I'm probably going to go see it at least once, probably twice more, at least once more this week, at least anyway. And because every time I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go see it again, I remember a scene, I'm like, I really like this scene, I want to see it again.
All right, guys. So, it is getting close to the end of the year. We only have one more show left this year. That is next Monday night, the 28th of December. We'll be looking to the future by counting on our top 10 most anticipated films of 2016, so we will see you then. Until then, everyone have a very safe and happy Christmas or Kwanzaa, if you celebrate that. Have a safe and happy holiday season. Merry Christmas from your fellow nerds. Have a great night, everyone.